Hold up, did that just happen? Shawn Spears shocked the world and walked out as the NXT North American champion. Unbelievable. Trick Williams just accepted a fight at NXT Underground. The Hardy Boyz versus Fraxiom for the TNA tag titles is officially set. Jaida Parker and Kelani Jordynne just put on an absolute banger, and Jordynne Grace and Roxanne Perez is now locked in for Roadblock, and that episode's going to be on fire. I want to talk about it all, but before we break it down, please hit that like button because we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Hit that subscribe button, share this video, help us out, do all the good stuff. Let's grow this community together. Right, enough rubbish. Let's get into it. I want to talk about, I want to talk about the whole thing. NXT was wild this week, and no bigger story than Shawn Spears shocking the world. Tony D'Angelo put his North American title on the line against Shawn Spears, and I can only describe it as chaos. D'Angelo controlled early. Spears targeted his injured back. That was the story of the match. Izzy Dame interfered, helping Spears, sort of trying to help Spears survive Tony's offense. Tried to put his foot on the rope, but couldn't quite make it. It was just enough to give Shawn Spears enough of a bump to kick out. Stacks accidentally cost Tony the match when he knocked him off the apron by accident. So Shawn Spears pushes Stacks into Tony D'Angelo. D'Angelo comes off the apron and lands on a steel chair outside of the ring on that lower back. Spears then capitalized and he hit a C4, which is the Death Valley driver for the win. Madness. New champ, new North American champ. I'll have to change my graphic for next week. I did not see that coming, Shawn Spears. Unbelievable. Really, really good. After the match, the NXT audience, the universe, if you like, was in shock. Tony D, no longer champion. You got to remember, Tony D'Angelo beat Oba Femi, for God's sake. And now losing to Shawn Spears. Did Stacks screw up, I suppose, is the question. Or was this on purpose? Let me know what you think in the comments. I think there was some looks there that I didn't quite understand. So I think Stacks might be a villain. And you can tell me what you think. What else? Trick Williams, man. Match against Kale Dixon. Bad mood and absolutely annihilated him in seconds. Bell rung, Trick shot, lights out, ref stops the match. Madness. Within seconds, Trick had put him down. And it was exactly what he needed, actually, because Trick... we need to be reminded of how good Trick is. And then Eddie Thorpe appeared in the little podium thing at the side of the arena, and he issued a challenge to Trick Williams, an NXT Underground match, which again, Trick accepted. So this is going to be brutal. Can Trick thrive in an underground fight? Is Eddie Thorpe too dangerous for this? Is he too wily? I'm not sure. I like the underground concept. It's going to be in 2K this year. Really looking forward to that. I think that's in 2 weeks at Roadblock. But yeah, Trick Williams underground match against Eddie Thorpe. I'm here for it, and I was absolutely here for the Trick shot win over Kale Dixon. What do I want to talk about next? Smashing through this today, guys. I want to talk about the Hardy Boyz. I'm so excited. That's what it is. I'm so excited. That I'm talking really fast and really loudly, actually, as well. But Matt and Jeff Hardy made another appearance in NXT, hyping up the tag division. Hank and Tank interrupted. They were looking for advice. Then Josh Briggs and help me out here, Yoshiki Inamura, got that right, had other ideas. The segment turned into a brawl between Briggs, Inamura, and Hank and Tank. And then after that sort of fizzled out, Fraxiom then, Axiom and Nathan Frazier, they appeared behind the Hardys and officially issued that challenge for the TNA Tag Team Championships. Matt Hardy accepted, and the match will be at WWE Roadblock. Hardy Boyz versus Fraxiom. Who's walking out of Roadblock with the TNA Tag Team Championships? Again, drop your predictions for that because honestly, I've got no idea what's happening with the TNA's divisions. It's incredible to have the Hardy Boyz back on WWE TV, though. I think that's in whatever capacity, I think that's really cool. Sorry, just got a message there that I didn't need. cancel that off. There we go. Right, what's next? What else do I want to talk about? Right, match of the night for me. Shawn Spears versus Tony D'Angelo was good, but this was match of the night. Jaida Parker, Miss Parker, versus Kelani Jordynne, and they absolutely tore it up. So Jordynne came out swinging, landed a beautiful acai moonsault. Parker used the power game, cutting Jordynne off. Samoan drop, I think. Jordynne hit Spanish fly off the top. Parker rolled out of the ring to escape the pin. And then I think Jaida Parker finally capitalized when she dodged like a 450 splash after from Kelani Jordynne, and then hitting the hypnotique, I think she calls it, for the win. A bit like Mystique, hypnotique for the win. And this was brilliant. Really, really good. The women delivered big time tonight. I always say it, NXT has the best women's division in professional wrestling. And this proved it, because Jaida Parker and Kelani Jordynne are on the fringes of that. And they put on one of the best matches I've seen this year. Really, really good match. Really happy with that. And Jaida Parker winning, you know, the right thing as well, because we've got two, I would class them as babyface women's champions in Giulia and Stephanie Vaquer. And the heel Jaida Parker, and she's a good heel as well, is a great foil for either of those. So I'm looking forward to Jaida Parker versus either Stephanie Vaquer or Giulia, whichever one it turns out to be. What else we got going on? Well, speaking of the NXT women's division and how stacked it is, we've got Jordynne Grace. She was supposed to face Cora Jade, and the match was cut short. This was strange, actually. I was watching the feed on Netflix, so I got like sort of in the ads as well. And Cora Jade was obviously struggling. I'm not sure if it was concussion, if it was just a bit of a knock to the head, whether I couldn't see any blood, so I'm unsure really, and I think everyone was, why the match stopped. But it was definitely an issue that Cora Jade was having that meant she couldn't continue. And Jordynne Grace got the win by stoppage. Afterwards, though, backstage, Roxanne Perez attacked Jordynne Grace, and I'm unsure if that was meant to happen or if that was spurred on by the injury. But Roxanne versus Jordynne Grace, sign me up. GM Ava, yeah, the final boss of NXT, immediately made the match official for Roadblock, and we're now getting the juggernaut Jordynne Grace versus the prodigy Roxanne Perez, also at Roadblock. Really happy about that too. I can't even tell you how good this was. It's setting up Roadblock to be a really good show. And I think that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about from this episode. But, you know, don't sleep on it, because it was really good. I mean, we have some other stuff going on as well. I will touch briefly on Sol Rucker and Zarya versus Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. That was really good opener. Amazing to see Chelsea Green on NXT, one of my favorite acts in the business right now. And the garnish of Piper Niven, really, really solid. Love those two together. Yeah, really, really good. So we've got Roadblock in a couple of weeks now. In fact, it might be next week. Let me get the date for Roadblock up. WWE NXT Roadblock 2025 will take place on the 11th of March. So we're looking next week now. We've literally got Roadblock next week, and matches that we've got signed are Obafemi versus Moose. There was a couple of promos during the night for this, and Moose is hell-bent on becoming the NXT champion. This is an NXT championship match, not a TNA X Division championship match. And Obafemi, you know, he rolls through everyone. So really looking forward to seeing what, you know, it's Titan and Titan. This is it's big guy versus big guy. It's big men slapping meat, which we love. And I think we'll get an Obafemi win. But Obafemi versus Moose, really looking forward to it. Something fresh for Obafemi, which is good. We've then got, and I've had this confirmed this week, is the NXT women's and North American women's titles will be on the line. It's title versus title. It's Giulia versus Stephanie Vaquer. Why they've made this title versus title, I'll never know. I was quite happy with them both as the champions, and they could have just had a one-off champion versus champion, but not for any titles on the line. But they've decided to put the titles on the line. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, Jaida Parker has something to do with this, and maybe we get a no contest, therefore they both keep the titles. But yeah, really looking forward to that one. Now we've got the TNA tag team titles being defended at Roadblock. That's the Hardys versus Fraxiom. So the NXT tag team champions are challenging for the TNA tag team champions at NXT Roadblock. I've gone cross-eyed. But Hardys again on another show. Really looking forward to that. We've got the underground match now between Trick and Eddy Thorpe. Bring it on. And Jordynne Grace versus Roxanne Perez. So we've got some absolute banger matches in next week for Roadblock, and I'm really looking forward to it. I think if I had to sum this up in any sort of way, I would just say NXT's on fire. You know, Shawn Spears winning the North American title was shocking, but well executed, and I'm here for it. I didn't believe he would win the title. I thought we were sort of past Shawn Spears doing anything. I've said this before. I much prefer the Ty Dillinger character, but Shawn Spears winning, it certainly drew me in watching this episode. Trick Williams looked like an absolute beast. That was a big win for the show. It's about time he looks strong again, and I'm hoping he just rolls through Eddy Thorpe at Underground. And then Parker versus Jordynne. It was PLE worthy. That was. It genuinely was. It was PLE worthy match. So great to have that on the show. Letdowns for the night. I suppose Hank and Tank interrupted the Hardys. Pretty much added nothing when they had that brawl then with Inamura and help me out here, Inamura and Josh Briggs. So that didn't really add anything. And I was a bit disappointed by Cora Jade's injury. Now, listen, you can't plan for injuries, and I'm hoping she's okay, but it's a disappointment for me because she's only just come back not so long ago, and she's, again, another great talent in the women's division. And that pretty much wraps up this week's episode of the Burning Truth NXT review, the big NXT review. NXT turned the heat all the way up, and Roadblock is, like I say, 7 days now, right around the corner. Things are only getting crazier. Shawn Spears, the new North American champion. Trick Williams stepping into NXT Underground. And the Hardy Boys are back once again next week in a WWE ring. For now, I want to hear from you. Who's Trick Williams? Is Eddy Thorpe a credible challenger for Trick Williams in Underground? How's that going to go? Who's walking out with the gold, the Hardys or Fraxiom? And remember, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So if you love your wrestling and you want to help the channel grow, please hit that subscribe button. Make sure you click the like button, spread the word, and let's build this community together. As always, stay hyped, stay wrestling, and I'll see you on the next episode of The Burning Truth, the big NXT review. Cheers, guys. Peace. Excelsior.